Are you already overwhelmed by AI? What's going on in the world? I'll tell you what. Today, we're going to talk about manifestation, AI, your emotional world, your self concepts, and we're going to talk about some science and strategy and soul together by combining neuroscience, quantum physics, and neuro-shine technology. If you're ready, let's begin.
Are you ready to shine? Come on, it's the shiny one.
You got this. My dear shiny mind, you who's watching, may I invite you to hit that subscribe button? This way, you and I are going to become partners in shine and elevate the consciousness in the world. Thank you so much in advance, and I'll see you inside. Welcome to the Shiny Minds Show with Dr. Shiny. I am Dr. Shiny Burcu Ünsal, the proud creator of neuro-shine technology, the founder of Academy of Neuro-shine Technology, the ICF Master Certified Coach, distinguished coach educator, licensed trainer of neuro-linguistic programming, UCLA's leadership professor, an author, a speaker, a podcast producer, and a lover of life, and in these days, artificial intelligence. I can introduce myself to you in many million ways. The reason I am just giving you a list of all these awesome credentials is so that I can earn your trust. So that we can really go into the deeper levels of the conversation. I need to give you why I feel like I have the interest and I have the emotional readiness to talk about all this stuff that I'm about to talk with you right now, because I know I can feel it everywhere. There is artificial intelligence, there is AI. When you go to Instagram, when you go to LinkedIn, when you go to Facebook, when you sit down and have a conversation at a dinner table, when you're on the phone with your mom, when you are bumping into somebody on the street, we are all talking about AI. It is literally our every single day right now. Anybody overwhelmed? Yeah, I can almost hear you. I get you when you don't understand how to engage, what kind of a relationship that you want to have with AI. That's where the overwhelm begins. And I want to help you with that. So I am going to talk about 3 angles so that I can help you manifest with AI, use quantum physics while you manifest with AI. And I'm going to talk about your emotional world because it is always going to come back to who you are and your levels of emotions at the core of your being. And we're going to talk about how we can use some science and some strategy and some delicious neuro-shine technology to help you move to your next levels. Sounds good? All right. Number 1. Let's talk about quantum physics and let's talk about how we are going to manifest whatever we want by using AI. You know how we always hear that AI is this incredible magical tool that just came out of nowhere? That is not true. Let's start with that. Everything is energy in the universe. I did 2 doctorate degrees studying metaphysics, quantum physics, cosmology, astrology, all the hard sciences, and obviously some different soulful sciences, let me say. Sciences like metaphysics that goes beyond physics, that studies what is going on when things are not tangible anymore, when they are not visible anymore. How can we create the science behind magic? That literally is what it is, if you ask me what metaphysics is. So metaphysics is now the trendy and very delicious topic is because it is going beyond of this 3D limitations that we experience every day, and it is looking at everything from a higher perspective. And because manifestation is always related with metaphysics and higher dimensions and higher perspectives, we're going to merge metaphysics with AI right now. You ready? So here's how you do it. You know, manifestation is somehow considered as wishful thinking. You know how you are told, I bet, to just think about something and then wish something, and then just keep the affirmation sentences to just repeat so that you can rewire yourself so that it just everything manifests itself. It doesn't work that way. The way that it works is there is the logic and then there is magic. There is always the law of polarity in the universe. The cosmic laws are always at play. The energy cannot be destroyed in the universe. It can only be replaced. Just like you boil the water and water becomes air, right? And then you put the water in the fridge and in the freezer and it becomes ice. It changes its shape and its form, but at the core, it's the same element, the same energy. Just like that, whatever you do with your life, when you are manifesting to change something, just remember the core of the entire manifestation is about keeping the energy. The energy cannot be destroyed. If you only repeat the affirmation sentences by just looking at it without attaching any energy, without attaching your emotions, it's not going to work. That's why we need to combine manifestations, emotions, and your neuro-shine technology mindset with neuroscience. We need to rewire the whole energy spectrum with your self-concept. That's why we're going to use the tools of the neuroscience to change your emotional mindset, emotional well-being. And it's all about manifestation. Let me give you an example. Say you want to live a dream life and move to another country and change your identity, become somebody else, and do something completely different, right? And then you just keep repeating it, and then you just write it everywhere, and then you have affirmations, you repeat them, and you read it, and then you just wait. That's wishful thinking. You think that you are going to manifest that way. No, you won't. You have to do something. The energy needs to be backed by motivation. The motivation is going to help the energy to rise or to fall. Remember, the energy needs to change its form. If you are at the same level, you're always going to get the same level of result. Okay. How do I know this? It's not only I studied it, I've done it. I am a Turkish woman. I used to live in Istanbul. I was in the corporate world for a decade. And what did I do? I said, I'm going to change my life. I'm ready for it. I'm going to take the action. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't care how scary it is. I don't care what I have to go through. I don't care. I'm just going to do whatever I am feeling called to do. I followed the energy. But the distinction is I put a different motivational action step to change the form of that energy. So the element of dreaming is transformed into reality because I changed the heat, the atmosphere, something was different physically. You understand? So that's why when you look at physics, you need to always look at the mechanics behind it. And how does it relate to AI? Let's talk about that. So the manifestation, physics, metaphysics, energy, we got that part. The AI part is we love AI because AI is now doing things for us. That's the doing part. Remember, energy needs a backup motivation, something to just change its form. Right now, we have AI for that. You can manifest things by using AI. AI is the doing part. But guess what AI doesn't have? The energy. Energy still is up to us. We need to put the energy into things. We need to add our own magic, our own energy. Your energy signature is going to be different than anyone else. That's why you need to add to the AI because AI is the logic and your human intelligence, my friend, is the magic. So when we combine the human intelligence with the artificial intelligence, do you know what we reveal? The cosmic intelligence, which is always here, which is the consciousness. Consciousness is always expressing itself through us. It's called manifestation in our language. So AI did not come from anywhere. It just didn't land from another planet. AI has always been here. Now we are at another level, at another frequency. Our energy is now changing its form to another one, just like water and ice. Now we are able to see another level of consciousness experiencing itself and expressing itself again through us. Does that make sense? It's always a consciousness, it's always a cosmic intelligence. It didn't emerge from nowhere. It has always been here. We tapped into it. We have all become it. And that is the magic of quantum manifestations with AI. AI is going to help us manifest whatever we want to manifest. That's why your intention, your energy, your frequency is going to get married with the logic. You bring the magic. So the logic and magic getting married, human intelligence and artificial intelligence becoming one. And what we get is cosmic intelligence. The second part of my conversation with you today is about your emotions, right? So we talked about your emotional resilience, your emotional self-regulation, and your self-concept as it relates to manifesting through AI. We are going to wrap it all up with neuroscience and my neuro-shine technology at the end. All right? So we are right in the middle right now. The middle is you. You, as the shiny mind, you have your emotions. Your emotions are your signature energy frequencies. Those frequencies are literally on a spectrum. If you have never watched my video when I talk about the consciousness spectrum with David Hawkins from 0 to 1000, that's where you want to begin. I'll drop the link so that you can actually watch that video as well, because that spectrum of consciousness is literally what we're talking about. We have low level of frequencies, we have middle range of frequencies, and then we have high level of frequencies. If you are someone who is radiating high level frequencies, guess what? That's what you're going to attract, and that's what you're going to manifest. Why? Like I said, you bring the emotion and put the energy behind AI to manifest. What is that? That is your emotions. And your emotions are almost like food. It's nutrition to your AI magic, to your productivity, creativity, and your high performance. Your emotions are there for you to utilize. Your emotions are what makes you different from everyone else. The way that you relate to your emotions, the way that you create a relationship with your emotions. Do you know what I always see? When I share something with someone, the emotion that gets attached to my story becomes the story. Let me break it down. I'm talking to my mom the other day, and I'm just sharing something that is super exciting that we discussed with my faculty. And she focuses on a detail that is so unimportant that her focus shifts to that detail. And then it changes, it drops my entire frequency because it's not about that detail. The whole idea, the whole reason why I'm sharing what I'm sharing with her is because I'm excited and I don't need to know how, right? I just need to focus on what I want to manifest. And when I talk about my ideas and my ideals and my vision and my manifestation, right? What do I talk about? I talk about high magic. I don't care about the details. I don't really go into that, at least not with her, right? My strategy is for me to work with my team, not with my mom. But because she's unable to match my frequency, the worry that she attaches to my story becomes her story. Her story is now like that detail, that worry, that whatever she said. Her story is not my story. And that is the emotion that she brings. And then I tell her, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm just not taking it. It's not mine. It's not my emotional frequency. So you keep it. And here is the boundary. It's not going to come this way. That's exactly how I protect my emotional boundaries. Are you doing that? Are you doing that with people around you, with people in your network, at home, with friends, at work? Are you allowing everyone to bring all kinds of frequencies to you? If you are, that's where the energy leak is. And that's why whenever you want to use AI, you want to create AI for something to be productive, guess what is not happening? The magic. The magic is not happening because your emotional boundaries are already violated and crossed by some other external forces, including your husband, wife, kids, mom, dad, siblings, friends. I don't care. As long as you don't protect your boundaries, they won't protect your boundaries, period. And your energy is your frequency signature. If you don't protect it, nobody will. I learned this the hard way. I am a recovering people pleaser. I have been working on this since I was aware that I was a people pleaser. And right now, I can tell you that my boundaries are very, very strict. If people are not respecting my boundaries, I'm out. That's it. If my energy is not met, I'm out. If my frequency is not welcome, is not hugged and appreciated by the person in front of me, then I'm out because there's misalignment. And I'm not going to waste my energy, even a drop of energy, because my energy is my entire livelihood, my entire frequency in life. I'm not going to waste my energy because my energy is my emotions. And if I am unable to use my emotions, if I am unable to self-regulate my emotions, then my self-concept is not going to be that. My self-concept is going to be something like a victim OS that I always talk about. Oh, everybody is doing this, and then everybody is saying that. Nobody is understanding me. Then I will start complaining. I will start talking about this and that, external forces. I will not look in the mirror and not ask myself, what am I doing with my emotions? Am I taking my radical responsibility to keep my energetic boundaries? Am I respecting my emotions? Am I choosing to raise the frequency always? Am I aware of the consciousness spectrum? Does my vessel carry the truth? So many powerful questions that we can talk about because that is the energy behind the emotions. If the emotion was a person, let's personify it. If you personify your emotions, even sadness has a reason to exist. I've been talking about this for more than a decade. Emotions are living entities. You might as well personify them. If you are sad, you deserve to be sad because sadness deserves to exist. And when you share your sadness, and when people outside sources try to make you not feel the sadness, try to fix your sadness, do you know what they're doing? They're violating your energy exchange and your relationship with your sadness. That is what I'm talking about. The emotions behind the emotions, the story behind the story. It's not about the fact that you are feeling sad. It is about what you tell yourself when you feel sadness. When sadness knocks on your door, are you judging it? I bet you do. Are you allowing yourself to feel the sadness? Are you? Are you regulating yourself to accept honor and appreciate the sadness in the moment? Are you allowing yourself to go through that emotion? Or are you immediately trying to get over sadness by trying to share it with some other people and asking them to soothe your sadness? That's the story behind the story. That's the energy behind the energy. And that is where self regulation is. When you look at the spectrum of consciousness, you will understand that there is a reason why in that moment you experience sadness, anger, courage, joy, acceptance, excited, peaceful, joyful. And at the end, you understand that there is room and there is time and there's context for all of them, right? Just a little bit of a tip before we move on to the neuroscience part. The breakthrough moment for you with your emotions is courage. You need to go about courage. And that's why when I look back in my life, when I say, oh, wow. Oh my God. I was able to leave everything behind and then move from Istanbul to Los Angeles. I mean, I am in Miami right now, but I moved to LA back then. That was courage. I went about that courage spectrum, and that was a breakthrough. And that's what I want to leave you with. Courage is the breakthrough moment. When you look at your emotions, look at them through the lens of courage. Are you having a great relationship with courage? Are you even getting courage to embrace other emotions? Because that is the magic that is required to put behind the logic of AI to manifest the life of your dreams. Now let's talk about neuroscience and programming your whole entire self-concept, your manifestations, including AI, self-regulation, and in how you can become your most delicious version in the year of 2026 with your magic. So, neuroscience and quantum physics are the scientific strategies that we are going to use as part of my neuro-shine technology. And we are going to empower you with the mindset technologies that don't even need any AI because your human intelligence is already there. Have you heard about Reticular Activating System? If you haven't, let me introduce it to you. Your RAS, Reticular Activating System, inside your beautiful, brilliant brain is your center, your attention center. That is literally your AI prompting center, okay? You have it inside of you. Whenever you say, I'm gonna get a new car, then your reticular activating system is definitely going to get your orders. It's like a command center. And it's gonna say, what kind of car? And then you're going to start thinking about and filtering about all the cars that you like. And your reticular activating system is now interacting with you to clarify the type of the model of the car that you want to get. And the moment you say, okay, I'm going to get a Porsche, then your reticular activating system is like, your command is received. Your wish is my command. And now every time you go out, do you know what you see? The Porsche car. Oh, it's right there. You see, that's why that's how I got my car. Obviously, that's how RAS works. If you are using your RAS to manifest something energetic, let me give you an example of that too. Energetic meaning some sort of a peaceful relationship with this friend you have been kind of crunchy with. You have been crunchy with her, okay? It wasn't really smooth, it was crunchy. And now you are manifesting, okay, now this time it's going to be peaceful, right? That is an energetic manifestation. And what do you need is your internal AI prompting center, your reticular activating system is going to receive that command from you, okay, peaceful conversations, peaceful energy exchange. And the minute you sit down with her, you know what you're going to do? You're automatically start talking about something peaceful, something that will bring you peaceful connection. Why? Because you already prompted yourself. If you do not prompt yourself, which is also called intention, if you don't have the intention, you're not going to get the attention of your own brain. And without attention, without focus, there is no energy. The energy flows where the mind and attention goes. So the attention also goes where the intention flows. So it all begins with the attention and intention. And if the intention is the AI prompting center of your brain, reticular activating system, then what do you need? You need your clarity. You need your intention. You need your human intelligence center, your selective attention, your focus, your desired outcome, clarity. That's what you need. And that is already built in your brain. When you study your brain, when you understand that you have mirror neurons to understand what's going on in another person, and then you have your pineal gland that acts like the antenna. I mean, our entire body, human body is an antenna, but specifically the pineal gland is an antenna. And then when you understand that there's synaptic pruning happening in your neurons, because some of the neural pathways that you have been using since you were 7 years old and you don't need them anymore. And in the world of AI, what I see is people are trying to live in this incredibly modern AI world, 2026 model world, on outdated 1995 software mental programs that is going to be glitchy and that is not going to work, not going to be aligned. And that's why the neuroscience part of synaptic pruning needs to happen with our thinking. We need to get rid of all the old programming. And then we need to understand that it needs to follow the same physical laws. In the physical laws, again, the energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be replaced and transformed, right? So if you have already these mental blocks, the neuroscience says, well, prune it. Use synaptic pruning to purge whatever doesn't work for you anymore so that you can replace it with the new model. Whenever we have a new iPhone iOS software update, it is so automatic. Like iPhone is doing its own synaptic pruning. Oh, that was the old programming. Let me purge it and let me install the new one. We need this. If we don't do it, forget about manifesting your dream life. You won't even be able to function as a healthy human being, as a healthy, mature adult in society. Because you have all these buggy and glitchy software bugs that I call. And when you are trying to run an AI world on this outdated, glitchy software with a lot of outdated bugs, of course, it's not going to go well because they are not aligned. You need synaptic pruning, you need neuroscience over there, you need neuro-shine technology over there so that you can then purge those outdated programs and look at your emotions and purge the unnecessary emotions. And then you don't get victimized by your emotions. You look at your emotions as data, as ones and zeros in the quantum field, because quantum field is all about possibilities. And when you choose something with your reticular activating system, then the quantum field with the observer effect is just going to collapse all the other possibilities and it's just going to lock into that particle. And with that, just like the double slit experiment, you're going to lock in to that frequency and you're going to go after it and you're going to just remove all the obstacles because you are not focusing on it, right? So that's the intention. That's why it all starts with the reticular activating system. That's your prompting, that's your command center. The minute you have the command, after purging whatever is not serving you anymore, then you also use the other scientific strategy, which is quantum physics double slit experiment, the observer effect, and then your observer effect, the way that you collapse other possibilities is now going to make you feel connected to your positive emotions in the consciousness spectrum, the higher frequencies of your consciousness spectrum in the quantum field. And then with that, you are now able to merge neuroscience, quantum physics, your emotional self-regulation, your self-concept to manifest everything by combining logic and magic in the world of AI. I know that was loaded. Oh, but that was my topic today. Manifestations, AI, neuroscience, your self-concept, your emotional self-regulation, and then how you can all merge them together because they are not separate. Everything is one. Everything is so a part of each other. We are just waking up to it. And I'm inviting you to wake up to it. If you are not able to manifest your reality just yet, start by looking at your emotions, looking at your behaviors, the root cause of your behaviors. And when you need help, we are here at the Academy of Neuro-shine Technology. That's exactly what we do. We are not going to teach you a traditional coaching program. We are going to teach you how to delete the victim operating system, because that's the outdated iOS in your human operating system. We are going to delete that, purge that. We're going to hold the space as you remove all those outdated patterns. And then we are going to use neuro-linguistic programming to install and program your mind with the affirmations that feel real. They are not just sentences that you read and you repeat. They are your core beliefs with the energy that you put out to the universe. And we are going to show you how it works with quantum physics, with metaphysics, and how it is all about your emotional self-regulation. Because again, all the disciplines that I have as part of my neuro-shine technology, they are all one consciousness experiencing itself. So then you walk away awakened, understanding life in a way that you have never thought possible. You will wake up and then you will choose you, and then you will then also share the light with others, making waves of transformations to people around you as an elite world-class ICF certified coach. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep shining your light.
Go galactic. Go galactic.
Go galactic.
Then you're in the right place. Let's go, let's go.